What's going on, everybody? It's Game Unboxing Reviews here, and welcome back to another episode of The Countdown to Halloween! This is a daily series in which every episode I'll show you how to make popular characters using the LEGO DC Supervillains Character Customizer. So without further ado, let's see who we're going to be making today. Alright, so in today's episode we're of course going to be making Morbius the Living Vampire from Marvel Comics. So to start off with, we're of course going to head on into Custom Character, Appearance, Head, Preset Head this time, and you want to scroll all the way to the very bottom until you find Lobo's head, which is of course this piece right here. And for the color, you want to make sure that it is white. Then once you've done that, you're going to back out of there, go into hair, and you want to scroll all the way to the bottom until you find the long hairstyle in black. Nice. Now then, onto the body. So for the body, we're going to go for preset body, and you want to scroll all the way to the very top until you find the Joker minion body, which yet again we're going to make sure is black. Now then, for the arms, you're going to go to both arms, and we're going to choose the sleeves. For the first color, you need it to be black, while the second color is going to be white. We're also going to make sure that the hands are white as well. However, for the hips, what you want to do is scroll all the way to the very bottom until you find Miss Martian's hips in black. Now, of course, Miss Martian is a character that is included in the Young Justice DLC pack, so you will need that DLC if you want to be able to make my very own custom version of Morbius in this game. But if you do have that piece, all you need to do now is back out of there, go into legs, both legs, we're going to choose blank in black, and finally what you want to do is back out of there, go up to attachments, and we're going to scroll all the way to the bottom until we find the hood, and we're going to make sure that is bright red. Nice. Now then, onto the effects. So we don't need a left hand glow or a right hand glow, but for the hit impact effects we're going to turn that on, make sure that you go with style 1, and for the colour we're going to go with red. And we're also going to add a jump slam effect as well, so you're going to turn that on, make sure that you go with style 1, and for the colour this time we're going to go with black, because as you can see here it leaves less of an effect as possible. Nice. Now then, onto the abilities. So we don't need to add any abilities to the tag button, but for the jump button we're going to go to double tap X and add the flight ability. And while we're at it, we'll also add the hyper jump ability on hold X. Now then, for the action button, we're just going to leave tap square, but on hold square you're going to scroll down to lunge, so you want to turn that on, and we're going to make sure that we go with lunge style 3. And finally, for the abilities, you're of course going to back out of there, head on into the special button category. We're going to go to tap circle, scroll down to detective mode, turn that on, and of course we're going to make sure that we go with red as the color. Nice. Now then, onto the skills. So we don't need to add a grapple gun, but we're definitely going to add technology as well as mind control. So you're going to turn that on, and for the color, you want to make sure that it is red, because as you can see here, that looks really cool. Now, as well as those two skills, we're also going to add acrobatics, wall climbing, smashed walls, super strength. We're also going to scroll down to tracking, so you're going to turn that on, and for the color, we're going to go with red. And finally, of course, we're going to back out of there, and you're going to go ahead and choose stealth. Nice. Now then, onto the personality. So for the health icon, we're of course going to go ahead and make it red. For the health type, we're going to go with standard health. For the voice, just choose any male voice. For the speed, go with normal. For the target reticle, I would highly recommend going with Batman's. And for the animation, we're of course going to go with cool, because you know Morbius is a very cool character. Alright, so we have done the appearance, the abilities, the personality. We don't need any weapons, so now all we need to do is fill in the basic information. So for the status, I would probably stick with neutral for this character. For the affiliation, we'll go with unknown, and then for the name we're of course going to put Morbius. Nice. Alright, cool. So now of course what we're going to do is drop Morbius into the hub world and see just what he can do. And here he is. This is of course my custom made Morbius made in LEGO DC Supervillains. Now for those that don't know anything about this character, Dr. Michael Morbius was a brilliant Nobel Prize winning biochemist that was born in Greece with a rare and debilitating blood condition, which unfortunately made him physically and mentally weak. But after developing an experimental treatment using vampire bats and electric shock therapy, Michael experienced seriously apparent side effects as he gained fangs, a flattened bat-like nose, and extremely pale white skin, as well as the powers of flight, enhanced strength, speed, and healing. However, not everything was enhanced, because in order for him to maintain his physical and mental vitality, Morbius had to consume fresh blood several times a week, because the longer he went without blood, the weaker he would become, and the more likely he would be to lose control. So next year, on July 31st, Morbius will actually be receiving a live-action movie, something I'm personally cautiously optimistic about, because while I don't think he necessarily needs his own film, I can't deny the fact that Morbius has has always been one of my favorite Spider-Man villains, so I can only hope for the best from this one. Now, for those that don't know anything about this film, Jared Leto will star as the living vampire himself, while Matt Smith will be playing the villain Loxias Crown, who is said to be a good friend to Michael that suffers from the same blood condition before he himself undergoes Morbius' serum, thus transforming him into a human vampire hybrid. The movie is also set to take place within Sony's very own cinematic universe of Marvel characters, which currently is only home to Tom Hardy's Venom. But if Kevin Feige's comments on the brand new Spider-Man deal are any indication, Sony's universe may now also be slightly connected to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, as the Marvel Studios president himself recently stated that Spider-Man is the only hero with the superpower to cross cinematic universes. So as Sony continues to develop their own Spideyverse, you never know what surprises the future might hold. Now yes, at this time, Tom Holland is only contracted for 2 more MCU movies, but with Marvel Studios now allowing Sony to use this version of Spidey in their very own cinematic universe, there's also now a very high chance that we'll see Holland's Spider-Man taking on Leto's Morbius in a future movie. So really, it's a win-win situation for both parties involved, whether that be Marvel Studios, Disney, or Sony Pictures, which personally I think will lead to plenty more deals that will keep Spider-Man in the MCU for many more years to come. Alright, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode of The Countdown to Halloween. Stay tuned for the next episode tomorrow, and as always, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe.